Even in dreams also we have objects. It is only in Susupti or in Turiya, in trance, that there is no object of thought. Mind needs some thought or the other to survive, to play with. The second property of mind is this, that mind, as it thinks, so it becomes. Jadrusi bhavana jasya siddhi bhavati tadrusi. If you think crude, your mind will be crude. If you think subtle, your mind is subtle. Don't you agree that by being here, your mind is elevated? Because all the while, some positive thoughts are going into your mind. Some good thoughts are going to your mind. You give your child, you let your child see horror films, the child will lose his sensibility. If somebody is killed, it doesn't have any. Because all the while he is exposed to horror. All the while, if one is exposed to pornographic presentations, you will have more of physical appetites. Because as it thinks, so it becomes. So mind needs a subtle thought. So when it ideates on the subtle thought, it also becomes subtler and subtler. That is why in Dhyan, the great masters say that never have a fixed object as your object of Dhyan. Because as it thinks, so it becomes. Some people say, yes, one cannot think of the formless, they need an object, idol. Because Ishwarasya pratima nasti. Infinite cannot be represented by a finite idol. We must always remember that the finite idol represents an infinity. But in the process of concentrating on a particular idol, you cannot love some other thing which is not compatible with the idol. For example, if one is not conscious, when you ideate on a particular idol, let's say Jagannath, it creates devotional feeling in you. Or Tarini, a particular object. But if you say Jesus on the cross, it doesn't create the same feeling for you because your mind is conditioned to that particular form. Ishwarasya pratima nasti. God cannot be represented by any physical object. That is why the mind has to liberate itself from any finite ideation. That is why in Dhyan, in higher stages of Dhyan, we have to take cosmic ideation. What happens when you ideate on the cosmic? Your mental wave expands. So the first expression of Dhyan, there are four characteristics result of Dhyan. One is the Bistara, Rasa, Seva, Tat Sthiti. Bistar is the first concrete expression. If you expand your mind, you cannot but love. You not only love your children, you also love your neighbor. You not only love your fellow beings, you also love plants and animals because your mind is expanded and you discover yourself in the other, so-called other. Whole society becomes yours. If Swamiji permits, I will tell you a fact or an event from the life of a great master. There was a great master, read that book, Bharatar Sadhak. There was a great master. You know, he went to give a discourse, spiritual discourse to a particular place, gathering. Now the Swamiji had a fixed routine. If it is beyond 1 o'clock, he will forego his lunch. That is why the disciples used to ensure that Swamiji returns before 1 o'clock, so that he doesn't forego his lunch. One day what happened, there are so many questions, it's a fact, it's an event, not a story. There was a number of questions from the audience, and Swamiji was quite engaged. It was very engaging discourse. He was getting late. So the Swamiji had to come to his monastery to have his food. That is why the chariot, in which he was to come, the charioteer, the person who was driving the chariot, was beating the horses so that they will run faster, so that Swamiji is not late for the lunch. When Swamiji reached just before time, and when his private secretary brought food, he said, "No, I have fever. I cannot take." Now Swamiji, what happened? He said, "I have fever. I don't feel like taking." When he took off his chadar, the scarf, there are impressions on his back. Then the private secretary said, "Swamiji, what has happened? Why it is bleeding and the impression of lashes?" He said, "No, just leave it." He wanted to avoid. But private secretary insisted, "What has happened?" Now you ask the driver. The driver said, "Nothing has happened." I brought him, I was simply driving the chariot. He gave his discourse and I drove the chariot. In between there was no stop and nothing has happened. Private secretary says, the driver says that he doesn't know anything. Now call that driver. When driver came, he said, when you were beating the horse, I was feeling the lashes on my back. This is the result of dhyan, sadhana, by which your mind expands. When your mind expands, you cannot hate, you cannot but love. If your mind is constricted, narrow, you cannot but hate. You know everything. Janami dharmang nachame prakriti. Yudhishthira says to Drona that you are also my teacher. And Yudhishthira is also your disciple, I am also your disciple. Why is it that I know what is right, but I cannot do it? Janami dharmang nachame prakriti. It's a moral, eternal dilemma. I know what is good, but I cannot do it. Janami adharmang nachame nibruti. I know what is bad, but I cannot prevent myself from that. It so happens because our mind is constricted. Our mind revolves around our caste, our language, our religion. So mind needs to be expanded. This is possible only when one takes cosmic ideation in dhyan. Dhyan is nothing but a process by which mind is subject to progressive continual expansion. And a time comes when the Anumana unit mind becomes one with the cosmic mind. That is the highest state. And for this, of course, self-effort is necessary. We have to do it. Supposing somebody does not have that desire, what to do? How to go about it? Pray for him. Create appropriate conditions so that he will definitely come to the righteous path. Why? Because at the core he is divine. The evil that we have is not our nature. We have acquired it in course of evolution. If you stay in Bengal and you speak English, people will say that he is a Bengali speaking English because there is a gravitational pull of the mother tongue. We have passed through so many animal lives and lives of reptiles, birds. So there is a pull of those animal propensities. It's natural. Those who are little ahead on the path, they don't feel it so much. There are many who are very much ahead, but the great masters who are completely free from the push and pull of the animal propensities. Why does it happen? Because we have lived through the animal life. So friends, the one benefit of dhyan is that your mind expands. When your mind expands, the narrow tendencies, they break. Supposing I hold a small thing, I have to make my hand like this. But if my hand is given a bigger thing, I have to expand my hand. Similarly, if you provide your mind with a higher ideation, mind is bound to expand. When mind expands, then you cannot but identify yourself with the others. This is called empathy. Samvedanshilata, not sympathy, not sahanubhuti. In sahanubhuti, in sympathy, there is duality. I sympathize. But in empathy, I feel your feelings. So you cannot but, your unit flow becomes one with the cosmic flow. Is rasa sadhana. Every man goes with his own rhythm. So gradually, the unit rhythm becomes one with the cosmic rhythm. And there is a transformation in our personality. You must have seen the rivers before they merge in the ocean. The current is very fast. So those who have going nearer the goal, they have a greater desire to attain it. They have irresistible desire to attain it, friends. And the last thing we should remember, that everything that you see around is our kindred. If you go out and find a hungry dog, if you don't feel like sharing a loaf of bread with him, whatever you have, your mind is, there is something wrong with my sadhana. If I see a hungry dog, if I don't feel like sharing it with that, if I don't feel the feeling of the dog, maybe something wrong. My mind is limited to my body, my family, because I feel my hunger. I cannot feel the hunger of the other. Friends, when you are established in that stage, service becomes your instinct. Seva becomes your mission of life. And and that is why, friends, we should treat everyone with love. We should treat everyone with love. Now, what is the expression of love? Tolerance. Mother tolerates everything. all the indulgence of the children because he loves. Mother Teresa says, love till it hurts. What is service? Love in action is service. And you tolerate, you forgive. You forgive. Because why? The source of forgiveness is love. Tolerance, forgiveness, service, everything. And what is the source of the love? My sense of identification with the other. How does it come? Through meditation. Friends, that is why, this is, I should say that this particular forum gives everyone the opportunity. It's not a small thing. It is not a small thing. Do you know one thing? Sri Aurobindo says that night is darkest before the dawn. Night is darkest before the dawn. And before the crisis, already the solution is already there. Friends, this is do you think that it has come all of a sudden? It is nature's arrangement. That at a particular stage, such things will come, such great masters or leaders, masters like Swamiji, they will come because the time is opportune. The time is ripe when people are really blinded by darkness. They are looking, despite everything, people have emptiness within. We call it poverty in the midst of plenty. They have everything, but they don't have contentment. So the whole world is overtaken by a crisis, the political crisis, the religion there is crisis, because the religion which was invented or improvised by the masters to unite, now it divides. This is a juncture we are passing through. But we should always remember that in state of nature, the solutions are available before a problem, emergence of a problem. So great ideas have already come. The methods have already come to address the crisis which is overtaking the globe. Humanity is bound to listen to this message because it has a survival value. There is an option. Humanity has only two options. Either to live together or to die together. Because man's power to kill, man's power to destroy is so much that if he kills his neighbor, he also gets killed. It is said that if one neutron bomb explodes, for 2000 years, the earth will not have a blade of grass. That is the capacity of destruction that man has. That is why the scientists say, let us stop science, let us learn how to live with science. Right. It is not enough that you have nuclear power, you must know how to use it, whether you are using nuclear power to produce nuclear bombs or nuclear reactors to give electricity to every village. The same knife which helps a surgeon to restore life to a patient also is used by a dacoit to cut throat. That is why, friends, there is the existential challenge is, let us live together or let us die together. Now to live together you need an expanded mind, and that is possible only when you cultivate. That is why Buddha, before his nirvana, the disciples asked, what is your last message? He says, Atma Dipa Bhava, be a lamp unto thyself. In other words, he says, friends, brethren, check out your own liberation. Don't expect anything to come from above, of course. Unless when there is a call from the below, there will be answer from the beyond. But it has to begin with ourselves. That is why self-effort is needed. We must, the sunlight is waiting beyond the windows. We have to open the windows so that the sunlight which is waiting outside will come. You have to open it. That is why, friends, our spiritual journey, we are conscious. We are not only conscious, a dog is also conscious, but dog doesn't know that it is a dog. But man is self-conscious. The self-consciousness of man enables him to understand what is his goal, what is his source, what is the path, and how to walk on the path. But knowledge is not enough. To know that there is Konarak would not help me to reach Konarak. You have to travel the path, you have to book a ticket. If you go to Simla now, you cannot manage with the dress, you need blankets. So depending on the nature of the goal, you have to take up certain things, you have to give up certain. If you are going to south now, you need net banyan. If you are going to Simla, you need a sweater. So depending on the nature of the goal that you want to attain, you have to give up certain food, you have to take up those things. So a spiritual journey can be likened to any other journey. In a journey, we should have a sense of goal, and we should have trust that there is a place called Kashmir, otherwise you cannot undertake journey. If you doubt that it is only in the map, it may not be actually there, you cannot undertake journey. So first of all, you must have faith in your destiny, that yes, there are many masters who have achieved it, why not me? Second is, knowledge of the goal. Scriptures are not enough unless you really put some effort. You have to walk the path. You have to undertake the journey, depending on whatever you have. If you have money, you can fly, or you can go by train. You can. So, depending on your ability or sanskar and prarabdha, you see, you choose a path. But you have to undertake the journey. No one can proxy for you. You have to undertake the journey for yourself, because it is a journey across lives. And the third thing is, there is need of discipline. Psychic discipline, the discipline of the food. And dhyan is nothing but the psychic discipline. And to succeed in dhyan, you need, as I told you, the support of the body. Without bodily support, mind cannot flourish. And without body-mind support, the spirit cannot unfold itself. That is why, friends, our journey should be holistic. It is a physical, psycho-spiritual journey where there is all-out effort to go towards the goal expeditiously or quicker. Thank you.
Dear friends, it was such a wonderful thing to hear all the truths in one go. The mind needs the support of the body, and the soul needs the support of the body and mind. We have to become vegetarian. That is the prime reason for the formation of this pyramid spiritual societies movement. The truth is the same. Should you research properly, should you go about it properly, you will arrive at the same truth. I have never heard about him, seen him anywhere. First time I am hearing him. And it was a wonderful thing. That's what we are all doing here. In exactly same terms. And there is a culture of the mind. We have to cultivate it. Like you cultivate the land to produce some nice harvest, you cultivate the mind to produce some nice enlightenment, like a Buddhahood. You have to cultivate. And a finite object cannot give you that infinite. It cannot give you a satisfaction for the infinite hunger that you have. Meditation is the only way, as Swamiji said. And we are here, the Pyramid Spiritual Society movement, to give meditation to each and every person all over the globe. And we are doing it. It will be continued until the last fellow also on this earth would become a Master Buddha. Meditation is very easy if you know the facts about meditation. As Swamiji said, the final words of Buddha was Apo Dipo Bhava, be a light unto yourself. So you have to put the effort. The matching contribution from the beyond will always come, it is there, but the crucial factor is your own Purusha Prayatna. That Purusha Prayatna is the practice of meditation. Everybody has got the same vocal cords as Lata Mangeshkar or Bhimsen Joshi, but you need the practice to to bring out the music from those vocal cords. The potential is there with every person for anything. So everybody can become a Kabir. Then why you have not become? Everybody can become a Buddha, a Mahavira, Jesus. Then why you have not become? Where there is a will, there is a way. Where there is no will, there is no way. We think, oh, it's not possible. Because it's not that it's not possible. You don't have the will. Before the problem arises, there are always solutions. Swamiji so very beautifully said. Had there been no provision for food and water, there would have been no hunger and no thirst at all. The world is going through a crisis, and this is not the first time. N number of times this earth has gone through crisis, and the whole civilizations have gone into the ocean, pralayas, because of the stupidity of the scientists and stupidity of the people to accept the scientists. The earth has seen many, many civilizations, the Atlantean civilization, the latest one, which has gone into the ocean because of awkward development of the science without matching spiritual strength. So that should not happen, and that will not happen because of all the pyramid masters and all the kindred souls who are on this earth. It cannot happen. About 30 years back I came into meditation. I was searching for the same X factor in our lives, and I did. Anybody who makes a sincere search discovers the X factor, which is meditation, which answers all your questions. As Swamiji said, the fundamental nature of consciousness is discontentment, dissatisfaction. You can never be satisfied. We have been organizing so many dhyana mahachakras, so much meditation, and still we are all dissatisfied. Because that is the fundamental nature of consciousness. It's an unending thing. The thirst for truth, the thirst for seva, as Swamiji said, it is unending. It cannot be fulfilled. But since you know that this is the only way to live happily and healthily, you do it. And you keep on doing it. To decrease your level of discontentment, but not to erase it completely. It is not possible. Meditation is the way. And there are no hundreds and thousands of ways of meditation. There is only one way of making your mind empty, that is observing the breathing. So, the breath is with you right from your birth. But now the time has come for you to be with your breath. No person is your guru, your breath is your guru. And you have your breath with you. And you better start becoming one with your breath, living with your breath. All the scriptures of all the religions on one side, good for nothing. And only one good for something is there, good for everything is there, that is anapanasati, observing the breathing. That's all. All others are on this side. And as Swami said, with a perfect physical base for it, that is vegetarianism. Apart from this vegetarianism and anapanasati meditation, the pyramid spiritual society movement dedicated to another accessory in terms of the pyramid energy. If you do meditation inside a pyramid or beneath a pyramid, your meditation is thrice more powerful. That's why, as Swamiji said, this is not the only civilization available, only planet in this whole systems. There are n number of planets, n number of galaxies, n number of civilizations, much higher in both in scientific terms and spiritual terms than what we boast of ourselves. So, from the earth is a small village being governed by the galactic federations. Anybody who does meditation becomes automatically a member in the galactic federation. So, my dear friends, earth is being managed by the central headquarters. A small village in, say, a Koraput area in Odisha, in a tribal area, he doesn't know that there is New Delhi, or there is a parliament, or there is a prime minister, or there is a president. He doesn't know. The same is the case with the earth scientists. Scientists in inverted commas. Huh? The earth is living as if it is the master of the whole universe. No, it's a small, tiny, mostly idiotic planet, mental hospital, mental place, which is being helped by the Galactic Federation on the central headquarters. They are sending n number of flying saucers and people who are not visible to you. Sometimes they are visible, sometimes they are not. Their capacities are absolutely beyond. You know, in Shakespeare said, William Shakespeare, Horatio, there are more things in heaven and on earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy. What a beautiful statement William Shakespeare gave. There are more things, Horatio, there in heaven and the earth than are dreamt of in your philosophy. Pyramid Spiritual Society movement is dedicated to these three things. First is vegetarianism, to create a base for the mind, then Anapanasati meditation, and then pyramid energy as a helper for meditation. All the pyramid masters here, I think we have to stand up and give this great master a standing ovation. On this August note, let us do meditation for 10 minutes. Close your eyes, just cross your feet like this. I'll tell you how to do meditation. We have to become a Buddha. There is no alternative. There is no other way of living healthily, happily. Do not open your eyes. Become one with your breath. Normal, natural, easy, soft, simple, tender, peaceful, tranquil breath, my dear friends. You have to enlighten yourself. I did enlighten myself 30 years back. That's why I'm here sitting in front of you. Every minute is precious. A person who is in search of truth will never waste a single second. Your goal is your own source. The source and the goal are one. The way to go back to your source or go to your goal is meditation. Built upon the base of vegetarianism. ना ही कोई सोच ना ही कोई विचार, सांसों के साथ दोस्ती एवं सांसों के साथ मस्ती. There is no mantra whatsoever. The objective which the mind has to choose for its own focus in meditation is the breath, the incoming and the outgoing breath, natural breath. We are not here to interfere with the breath process. No way. Nature should never be interfered with. If you interfere with the nature, you will have to pay for the deed through your nose. If one Columbus can do such a marvelous deed, every other person can do it. If one Emerson can reach the South Pole, every other person can do it. If one person can become like Bismillah Khan, why we can't become like Bismillah Khan? If one person can become like an Einstein or Mother Teresa, why we can't become? We don't have the will to become. We are stupid. Just insane. We know something is good, we don't go for it, that is pure insanity. If you don't know what is good, that is pure ignorance. Janami dharma can be understood only by the people who are like Pandavas. The Kauravas, the 99% of the humanity are like those people who choose Lord Krishna's army but not Lord Krishna himself. Because Pandavas, they don't want any army, they want the Lord Krishna himself. Only, nothing else. That is what is the choice of wise people. Then they become wise. The choice of foolish people is different. The choice of wise people is different. Because of their respective choices, the foolish become, they see their own end. And the wise people, they see their own enlightenment. Yoga has chitta vritti nirodha. What is yoga? Yoga is making the waves of the mind empty. And that happens only through pranayama, Sukhamaya pranayama. Sukhamaya pranayama, taking up Sukhamaya asana, then Sukhamaya pratyahara, entry of cosmic energy is pratyahara. Then Sukhamaya dharana, then when you have third eye visions, you have to become one with those third eye visions, that is dharana. Then Sukhamaya dhyana, astral travel. The astral body goes out of the physical pull of the physical body. Then what happens to the astral travel? That is dhyana. Then samadhi. You get all the answers. You become a galactic traveler. You become a member of the Intergalactic Federation. Sukhamaya asana, Sukhamaya pranayama, Sukhamaya pratyahara, Sukhamaya dharana, Sukhamaya dhyana, and Sukhamaya samadhi. These are the steps. Happy posture, stable posture, then becoming one with the normal breath, and then accessing cosmic energy, and becoming one with your third eye visions, and becoming one with your astral travels, and becoming a member of the Intergalactic Federation, that is the samadhi. Everybody can become like a Veda Vyasa or a Valmiki. Why we have not become? We don't want to become. Simply that. But should a person decide to become something, then no sooner than that, then अनति काल में, अचिर काल में वह अपना लक्ष्य को छेद करेगा. It's a simple arithmetic. 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. The first two is intent, pure intent. The second is, of course, practice. Then 4 is enlightenment. Sincerity plus seriousness is equal to enlightenment. Sincerity, the first two. The second two is the seriousness. And the resultant is enlightenment. Sincerity plus seriousness is equal to enlightenment in any field. Final 2 minutes. Everybody should allot certain amount of time every day for meditation, which basically boils down to becoming one with your breath. Sukhamaya pranayama. In the words of Gautama Buddha, Ana Apanasati. Final 1 minute. 30 seconds. Twenty seconds. Ten seconds. Nine. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Zero. Kindly place your hands on your eyes for 5 seconds.